It
We
looks
are
like it's,
live.
even though I have the Twitter app, it looks like it's like still kind of, I mean, it's not using a browser, but it is. Twitter app is opening.
I don't know how. I got to test it on Android. I really haven't tried it. But yeah, if anyone's now that we're live, if anyone's listening, we were trying to get Twitter Spaces to work, but it was not cooperating. So we will try to get that for next week, though, because I know a lot of people are requesting that we do Twitter Spaces. But
Yeah,
your regularly scheduled programming.
Oh, I should probably unmute in Discord.
Yeah. Sweet.
Unmuted in the Discord.
Announcements are out. Threadcast is live. You guys aren't in the Threadcast. Join it now. Let's do this.
See, now I don't even see. Wait, so did you? Are you not? Oh, so you shut off the Spaces thing?
Yeah, no, I just shut off the Spaces because if you're not in it, then they'll only hear me. So I just shut it down.
Gotcha.
We'll circle back maybe next week or something and try it. Or we're not going to be here next week, but maybe
Eric, I
next
unmuted.
time.
Yes. Why the hell? I wonder why it's not working.
Sweet. Whenever you're ready. We've already got 90 comments in the Threadcast.
Yeah, now we're rolling. I'm still just poking around on Twitter for the hell of it, but I mean,
I think you've got you got some updates for us.
Sucks that we can't get it going. Well, I guess we'll figure it out over the break because we got the holiday next week.
Yeah, we will.
Announcements post is out. Yeah, let's get rolling because it's almost 1. Put in a good hour. And yes, there's always updates. Always updates. Okay, then. I know the most actively used new feature on the UI is the GIFs. GIFs and emojis are back. I did some GIFs myself. I did a Bitcoin parody, so to speak. I had a gift of someone like, walking into a glass door and bouncing off of it. And I was like, Bitcoin and 31K.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Yes, threading has become easier now that I can GIF.
Yeah, it's definitely easy to throw a GIF in when you're just running through random threads.
Threads for life. Apparently,
yeah,
the threads domains are probably 10x in price now that Facebook is talking about naming their thing Threads.
Yeah, I'm a lot of people are talking about that. I'm not really concerned with that. It's if it comes down to it, Threads is not necessarily the end all be all in terms of naming. I do like the name Threads, and obviously it resonated with Zuckerberg too, but
I like the name as well.
Yeah. But yeah, we dropped a post about all the different updates that got released, but it was a lot of very visual updates, a lot of back-end updates. It was probably one of our biggest updates since the launch of the UI on May 1st.
Yes, I see. I know my soul is claiming there's another update that I don't believe I saw in my last post. So I literally want to start a post right now to make sure this is true.
Oh, you're talking about the wrapping text?
Yeah, I'm trying to queue up the I'm trying to queue up a long form post, the recap post, just so I can see if this is true or if I want to. I am physically confirming myself before I make this announcement.
While you do that, I'm going to run through these updates real quick. So,
Do it.
so GIFs and emojis are back. You covered that. So if you guys saw that, you can hit those buttons on the thread module. We also updated thread, comment, and posting. So that box where you can see like the different codes that you can use, like bold, italic, emojis, GIFs. We updated that, a lot cleaner. We made the thread box a little bit smaller.
Thread
Again,
box.
making it a little cleaner. So there is a small issue with GIFs and emojis. I think it's fixed now, but I'm just going to double check before I officially make that announcement. But there is a small bug. So if you see something that looks like wonky with searching for a GIF, it's that, and we're working on it. So we also did a bunch of back-end improvements. So if you ever, if you want to give this a shot, you can go to the UI and click on different links from the left menu, and just click like home, articles, notifications, profile, and like click back and forth really fast. And you'll notice that the UI is a lot smoother, a lot faster. It just kind of instantly loads pages. So that's definitely good. A couple more optimizations are on the way for long form articles mainly. They do load a little bit slowly, especially compared to threads and the other parts of the UI. So that's going to be our next major, performance update, specifically for long form. Outside of that, we added a lot of features to long form that people have been asking for, mainly Taskmaster. So if you hit the 3 dots at the top right of any long form post, you'll see a few options. So you'll be able to copy link, reblog, and downvote. If you click the 3 dots to the right, top right of one of your blog posts, you'll also see edit post, light edit, and delete. So light edit is pretty self-explanatory. It kind of like, it opens like a little pop-up window that lets you quickly edit. And then I guess quick edit would be a better name for it, but maybe we'll change that. But essentially it just lets you do a quicker edit than going to the whole post and editing it. So if you just want to change like one little word in the title or something, or the description. So that stuff got added. We also fixed a couple of issues. So in the publish UI, you could select beneficiaries. And there was an issue where they would be 0%, even if you chose like 5 or 10 or 15% or whatever. So we fixed that. We also fixed the rewards drop-down menu. So you could select options, but they weren't working right. So for example, like if you wanted to select 100% power up, if you selected it before, it wouldn't have worked. If you select it now, it'll work. So we fixed that. And then this one's for Mitch. Did you confirm that the text wrapping issue is solved?
I was waiting to chime in. Yes, I just did it. There is no text wrapping on the long form. It is
There you go.
finally official, and just feels so much more comforting when writing posts now.
Yep. So we fixed that one specifically for Mitch. And then we added an announcement banner in the bottom right. So you guys have probably already seen that, but when you go to the UI, you'll see an announcement banner with the latest post from @LeoFinance. So, for example, when this post got launched, people saw an announcement banner in the bottom right that said, 14 major updates deployed, and you could click read more, or you could click got it. And if you click got it, it would just remove that banner. You wouldn't see it again until the next update comes out. If you click read more, it just takes you to the post. So definitely a good way to organize and get more eyeballs on the announcements. I know a lot of people were asking for something like that, and I think the impact is actually pretty clear. We got a lot of comments on the last few updates, a lot more than we would normally get. So I definitely think it's helping to spread the word a little bit more, especially to new users who would be like coming into some random long form article, and they might see 14 major updates and be like, oh, this is interesting, and then potentially dive in and maybe create an account thinking that things are getting updated and that how exciting that is. So talked about that. I think that pretty much covers the updates this week. We definitely went for a full scale redesign in a lot of different ways to make the UI cleaner. So I'm very happy with how the UI looks right now. Definitely a lot of more work to do, but I'm in a good place with where that's at.
Indeed.
So diving into some of the stuff that's coming next. So I talked about that at the bottom of that post, but a couple people have been asking for HTML support for articles. A couple of other Hive UIs allow HTML and actually, have buttons for HTML. So if you look at one of those posts that's been written with one of those UIs, the HTML code will look very strange because it's not being properly formatted on Leo. So we're adding support for that. That's coming soon. We're also adding, and this is kind of a big one, with the big shoe that dropped recently. So this was in the update before the 14 update thing, was the addition of communities. So Hive communities are now on LeoFinance.io. So you can go into any other Hive community, like for example, the Splinterlands Hive community, and you can view it, curate it, look at the Hive rewards on those posts, see the trending hot new, sort by highest payout. You can see the members, you can see the activities, descriptions and moderators and all sorts of stuff like that. And obviously you can join and leave communities. So I think this was a big moment for LeoFinance in a lot of different ways. The main thing was that, we're kind of showing that everything app vision where, it's not just LeoFinance anymore, like not just crypto and finance. So that carries a lot of other conversations that will come later about branding, naming, and stuff like that. But the general idea is that we're opening up the UI and allowing these other communities to really build themselves and we're shifting towards that vision of being the Web3 everything app. So along with that, it means that we need to open up to these communities and allow you to post, if you want to post a food blog and you're in a food blogging Hive community, you can do it from Leo's UI. So speaking of that, one of the next updates that's coming is going to be the ability to post into these communities. So the first step was to get the community pages out, which we did. The next step is going to be the ability to actually post into these pages. So that's coming next, which is very soon. And I think it is really going to be that major shift that people were looking for, where it really opens us up to the rest of Hive. And allows us to onboard people, especially with threads taking the central focus. So obviously microblogging being like the central focus, and then obviously articles are still a big focus. But we want to make sure that we have really good content segmentation into each community. So you're going to see a lot of work being done in terms of creating really good feeds and allowing people to create lists, and also building out these community pages to be really robust and customizable. So a lot of cool stuff on the horizon. Community pages are also going to get their own threads feeds. So the moderators in those communities will be able to basically build their own, like threads proxy UI. So I'm excited to start getting all that stuff out.
That's cool.
Yep.
What's up with Leo ads? What's new with ads?
So Leo ads. So you guys have probably seen a lot of activity with the ads, both in terms of placement, in terms of ad partners, and a bunch of optimizations have been done recently. So we've been just kind of working to make our ads as efficient as possible. So you'll see that they're placed in a lot of different areas. And I'm definitely excited with where ads are right now. We have Coinzilla, AdSense, and BitMedia right now as ad partners. And I was talking to someone yesterday about the long-term vision of ads, which I've talked a little bit about on AMA. But the long-term vision is, yes, we have these ad partners. They're like traditional ad networks. It's really easy and automated for us because they obviously just serve banners to us. But the next major iteration of Leo ads is where we basically have our own like Facebook ads type of UI inside of the Leo UI, where people can submit their own banners to get approval, and they'll get approved by the community. through the polls protocol that we built. So that's going to be like stake weighted voting on who can and can't place ads, and what ads should and shouldn't get approved, and specific budgets and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot to unpack when that starts to happen. The community is going to have to decide, how much is an ad worth, what ad banners are acceptable, which ones do we reject, and how do we tell how do we tell an advertiser what they need to fix so that they can get it approved, and all sorts of really good stuff like that. Obviously, when you have direct advertising, like where we're selling the banners to advertisers, we're going to make, like the Leo smart contract is going to make way more money from doing that than it is from these ad companies, which are just sending us banners. Because obviously you got all the
100%.
middlemen, and yeah, so we're getting paid like cost per click right now. But when you switch over to that model, it's going to be way more sustainable, way more reliable income for Leo. So I'm excited for that. That's definitely like the long-term horizon of ads. We'll have some more announcements about ads very soon, but you can see that we're taking the steps right now to get to the place where that Leo ad smart contract gets launched, to buy back the Leo and create the Leo Power APY. So I hope you guys are just keeping an eye on the UI and where ads are and what kind of ads you're seeing. We've done a lot of really cool updates on that front, and it's all in preparation for that Leo ad smart contract.
Yeah, there's so much upside to that. I mean, obviously the user base, the bigger the user base, the more upside that the marketplace has. I don't even know right now with the current user base if the marketplace, it would be, a value add. I don't know if the current user base supports it or not, compared to what, is being done just with the ad providers. But at some point, there's a flippening. So maybe it's already happened. Maybe we need to grow the user base, larger than what it is. But you said Google AdSense, Coinzilla, and what was the other one that we're currently using?
Bit Media.
Bit Media.
So yeah, so we've got a couple more advertising partners, making ourselves less reliant on any given one.
Awesome.
Yep.
Were you like, I don't know, I thought you were done, but maybe I cut you off. Were you done pretty much talking about communities, or was there more to that?
Pretty much done. The next thing, so the communities are live as of this past week. So you can go to any community, you can search communities from that. So you go to the articles tab, and then on the right, you can see communities. You'll see like the top 5, and you can hit explore more, and then you can search through them and sort them by rank, the age of the community and members. So that's where everything's at right now. With communities, but the next big update is going to be being able to post into any community from the publishing UI. So you'll have a drop down menu basically, and be able to select what community you want to post to. So if you want to create, if you want to create a, let's see, let me just find a random example. So there's a movies and TV shows community. Let's say that you want to create a movie review for the new Extraction movie on Netflix. And you want to create that post from the Leo UI. That was never before possible on the old UI and on the current UI, because we were always siloed to crypto and finance. But in the spirit of where we're headed with the Everything app, we're now opening it up to every Hive community. So if you want to post a movie review, you can post it into the movie and TV show community that's on Hive through the Leo UI, through the publishing page. You just hit the drop down and select that community, and you'll be good to go. So there's a lot of obviously conversations that are going to have to happen later on as that starts to take more shape. But for now, that is the initial steps of opening up to the Everything app.
Nice. Well, speaking of the Everything app, busier it gets, I think the more important Leo Cash is. So is there anything new with that, or what's going on in the Leo Cash
So
world?
I've talked about Leo Cash before. It's basically this big backend update that we're working on, which will take us to the next major milestone in terms of scalability. So right now we can scale up to, I would say, about 15 to 20,000 threads without seeing any major, downtime or issues. 15 to 20,000 threads per day. The next Leo Cash update will take us to the place of like very high degrees of scalability. So I think, hundreds of thousands of threads per day will be very easy in the beginning. And then as we go, it's going to be built in a very modular stack. And we'll be able to just kind of stack on more updates to that. So we could take it to, millions of threads per day. So Leo Cash is a huge coalition of updates that will basically take us to the scalable universe that we want to be in. Which is to kind of go after market share in terms of like, I don't know how many tweets, some billions of tweets are posted per day. So scaling up is really important for the microblogging aspect of the UI. And then it also has some other ramifications, like for communities and for long form articles and making them load faster. And generally speaking, Leo Cash will make everything load faster. In addition to that, the scalable thing I was talking about. And then the third part being, it will allow us to actually implement like real algorithms for sorting content and creating better content feeds, and basically allowing users to create their own algorithms for content. So if you want to only see threads about movies and TV shows, with Leo Cash, we'll be able to set it up so that you can create a feed specifically for that, for example, or create a feed that's only shows you threads about crypto, or create a feed that shows you threads and articles about crypto in one feed. So some really cool stuff on that spectrum, but that's all like post the initial Leo Cash getting implemented. But I'm really excited about Leo Cash. It's like a huge, something that you won't really see on the UI, but it's a huge backend update, and it really changes the capabilities of the UI.
Yes, and it's Leo Cash, CACHE, not CASH. Because every time I hear Leo Cash, all I think about is like, wait,
Bitcoin
did
Cash.
we get a new token? What's going on? It's like we got Leo Bucks,
Leo Bucks.
Leo Cash, making
Taskmaster
your
said he's
back
strangely
end.
turned on right now.
There you go, making your back end experience even better, and that might have turned on Task as well.
Sounds pretty sexual.
I just know that I can't handle the pressure. Task threaded. Your mission is 150 threads in this threadcast. Anything short of it means you're a loser and you should never have sex again.
We're already at 155. So
Well, it's a good thing because I was starting to feel the pressure.
pressure to
I
perform.
threaded twice just to help get to the number. I should say I responded twice and then I did an actual thread once. So 3 threads.
Just uploading all the threads, all of them. Yeah, the UI is buttery smooth. That's all I have to say. Buttery smooth.
Ha! I like this thread. Task said, do you think Khalil Kazi was born late? He certainly mastered the art of never being on time.
I've never been on time my whole life.
I will say this, when it comes to the start of the When Soon show, a lot of that is the cat. We'll get on, but then the cat is free game chattering about all things investing,
Always got to have a good pregame chatter.
talking about the things,
All of
the
them.
real estates and the Amazons and the and the cryptos.
Yep. So what's new with sign-in options? So we've been working on Leo Info a little bit. I'll have an announcement out probably in the next week about it. Just trying to make this process a little smoother. I know there's been some issues, so nothing really new and shiny to announce with the sign-in options, but definitely some bug fixes on the way to make it smoother, especially as we keep trying to onboard new people. And speaking of onboarding people, tutorials are coming. Yeah, so I've started to record tutorials. You might be able to see this fancy new, maybe you can't see it. Nope. I have this fancy new mic setup. Hopefully I sound a little bit better too.
That's what
But
that is. I was wondering what it was. I was like, why do you have some like carbon fiber like looking like quarter panel? I was like, is that for the beamer?
no, this is for the sound echoing. So hopefully my sound does not echo as much with this thing. Um
No,
Supposed to capture
sounds
my
good.
beautiful voice better.
The only time you hear any background noise is when you actually move the thing.
Oh wow. Yeah,
But
probably heard a
outside of
lot of
that,
it.
no, you sound clean and clear.
Sweet. So yeah, so setup has been a little bit improved. I got a couple of other things that Eric had me order on Amazon. I'm waiting for them to get delivered, but we started recording tutorials. So they're 30 to 60-second clips basically of how to do specific things on LeoFinance and in the Leo community. So, imagine tutorials for things like how to stake Leo, why to stake Leo, how to get upvoted by Leo.voter. That was one of the tutorials I just worked on. And all sorts of stuff like that, like how to create a thread, how to create a post, how to, view articles, article feeds, how to join a community, all sorts of tutorials like that. So Eric and I have started working on tutorials for that stuff. And like I said, keeping them like 30 to 60 seconds, really actionable and short to the point. And we're building out the docs for the coveted Leo white paper that has that maybe 5 people in the world have seen. We have been building it out and adding videos and definitely chopping away some of the extra fat that I had written in there on my 1,000-page book,
The Leo White novel.
the white novel. So yeah, the doc site is going to get a lot of updates. It's going to have a lot of videos, a lot of really high quality tutorials that we're building out. And hopefully we just make it, the goal is just to make it as easy as possible to use LeoFinance and everything related to it. So the UI is very self-explanatory now. Like the old UI was, and really every other Hive UI is really hard to understand. Like you join it and then what the hell do you do? With Leo's new UI, with the everything app, you join it, it looks like Twitter, you join it, you make a thread, you're like, oh, this is like Twitter. And then if you do decide to go deeper, you start to find out that there's like articles, there's Web3 wallets, NFTs, all sorts of other shit in the UI. And that's on you to start diving deeper into it. And we'll have tutorials there for you if you want to learn more about how everything works. But the UI needs to be self-explanatory for like the average normal person coming to it to get started. And then from there, have tutorials and make it really easy to dive deeper on stuff when you want to learn, how do I make a long form article and start earning revenue from it by getting Leo.voter upvotes. And there's going to be all sorts of tutorials showing you how to get after all that stuff. Curation on threads. So thread storms, thread casts, and polls are getting love. Yeah, so we have been talking a lot about using Leo.voter to start curating threads as well. So a lot of you probably know, but when I go through and curate threads, I'm curating with probably like 5 million Leo power. So most of my upvotes, like I've upvoted all you guys in the threadcast, and my upvotes are like 20 to 30 cents per thread. So that's like obviously a reward in its own. And that's probably just going to get bigger over time, especially as Leo keeps growing. It's, it's been growing a lot lately. So that's a good thing. But having that Leo.voter upvote for curating threads is also going to be a huge way to just support people that are regularly threading, people that are doing higher quality threads like thread storms and threadcasts and polls that get a lot of engagement. So if you're posting a lot of threads, that's like the first step, is post a lot of threads. Second step is post a lot of threads that are engaging, get people to like really engage with your threads. And one of the big ways to do that is to be engaging in other people's threads. So if you're doing these like positive actions for the UI, like engaging and writing high quality threads and doing threadcasts, then you're going to be eligible to get a lot of Leo.voter upvotes on your threads in addition to your long form. So we're starting to do a lot of really good meritocracy updates for curation, just that like if you are doing these positive things, you are going to be getting rewarded above everyone else. So the docs are outlining that. Like I said, we've been working on the tutorials to explain it more deeply, but long story short, do good things, get a lot of upvotes. That's the idea.
Pretty much.
So that pretty much covers us on the Leoverse. We've got 100 and I'm trying to refresh the thread cache right now. It's slow because we've got so many comments.
What? What is this? I thought Leo Cash was taking care of that.
174 comments. Wow.
There we go. When video
200.
upload? I gotta be honest, like, I'm not really personally in a super rush to see video upload.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna do like shorts at some point. But not yet, not yet. We got to have the UI really well ironed out.
iFarm Girl said, commenting on long form posts, even Leo posts, do not get indexed. Can this be fixed sooner? I didn't even notice that.
Sorry, what was the question?
Commenting on long form posts do not get indexed.
There is a specific bug, and I think that's the one you're talking about, and we are working on it. I'm not sure if that's what you mean, but that is definitely getting worked on.
No doubt. I actually have I think a bug that still exists. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a bug. Hold on. I'm responding to threads.
So I saw a thread from Hive Trending asking, what do I need to do to be able to share links on threads? So we reintroduced the feature that hides threads with links. If you want to post a link on threads, you need to post a top level thread. So you just post a regular thread and then reply to yourself with the link so that the thread, it's like a thread reply to your thread. And then you can put the link as a reply. And the main reason for that is just that we get a lot of garbage spam on the UI where people are, you know, the Hive culture of like post promotion channels. So, you know, if you want to promote your post, there's a better way to do it than just dropping a random link. So we've removed that from the main home feed. You can obviously still post threads and with the post link, they just won't get shown in the main feed. They'll get shown on your profile page, for example. What else we got here? Are there any plans to integrate the UI with ecency? When trying to post threads from the ecency front end, threads don't appear here. I think this would bring a larger audience to threads and connect more users. Yeah, so ecency doesn't have threads. They've built something, I'm not even exactly sure how theirs works, but they've built something called waves, and it's not compatible with threads. So, you know, I think I posted a tweet right after their solution came out and said that it wasn't compatible with threads. They're still showing threads on their UI, but if you like reply to a thread from the Leo UI or you try to create a thread, it doesn't work. So if you want to use threads, you got to use LeoFinance, and maybe one day they'll catch up with whatever solutions they're building. How is life outside of Leo? I don't know what you're speaking of. There is no life outside of Leo.
What is this outside of Leo world you speak of?
I only know one thing, and that is Leo.
He's got the Leo for life tatted across his chest.
Is 100% of ad revenue going to be used on buybacks, or if not, how does the split look like? So the way Leo ads work is that the ad partners have a contract address for the Leo ad smart contract, and they deposit the, you know, weekly or monthly or whatever distributions, whatever schedule it's on. They deposit the distributions to that smart contract, and then the smart contract buys Leo on the open market, and then it creates that Leo Power APY which you don't yet, but will soon see in the Leo wallet UI. And it is 100. So obviously, since it's all getting deposited to that smart contract, 100% of it is for the contract to run its code, which is to buy back Leo and put it into the Leo Power APY pool. So yes, short answer is yes.
In random news, rumor has it that Khal is speaking at HiveFest.
This is correct. I will be a speaker at HiveFest.
Viva la Mexico! Mexico!
Yep. Yeah, HiveFest is in Mexico. I think that was announced like last week or something. And I will be speaking there. Eric is going to be there. I think Mitch is a potential.
Wait, what? I am? I don't even know when it is. I legit have no idea when it is.
I actually don't really know either. I think it's in September, something around there.
Oh no! Wait a second. I thought the freaking conference in
Usually
Vegas was
November.
going to be in September.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I think that's still a thing though, but we'll see. So we might have some conferences to go to.
I was planning on repping that. I ain't going to both. Even if Leo sponsors both. Decisions. I'd probably rather go to HiveFest.
Yeah, I feel like HiveFest is gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm sure, but I don't know if that's as much value add, so to speak, in terms of having help. But yeah, Mexico, that's pretty easy for me. I can go right to Miami. My brother's in Mexico right now.
Mexico is a good time. I love Mexico. I usually go there at least once a year for unwinding time.
Well, anyone else that wants to go to HiveFest, the other rumor is that there's going to be 2 tickets given away. One provided from LeoFinance and the other one from Block Trades via the LeoFinance community. So you have a chance to get a free ticket to LeoFinance. So especially you folks in Mexico that are more local, you can potentially go for free. The rest of us need to still get flights and hotels.
Exactly.
I don't know. I need a nomad soul to DM me where and when HiveFest is and dates. But that's cool. I didn't even realize HiveFest was coming up.
Yep, it is coming up. Quickly approaching. This whole year has been flying by.
It's also exciting that it's on our continent for the first time.
IDK Samad asked, I know links are blocked and only a few people with required stake of Leo can post links. Wonder what is the limit? Like how much Leo power does one need to share links in the feed? So sharing links in the main feed based on Leo power is still a concept. We don't actually have it deployed yet. The bar for people who can post links is actually Hive reputation based for right now, not for very long though. That's just a temporary solution while we work on the Leo power one. But if you have over 80 reputation score on Hive, then you can post a link into the main feed.
80?
Yeah, it's 80. The main idea is just that nobody. Yeah, the main idea is just that nobody can post links. Technically, I can post links, and I think Taskmaster can.
I don't even think
there's many others.
Yeah, which is messed up because I don't even know how I don't have 80. Like I've been on Hive longer than you.
Yeah,
Craziness.
I mean, that's how it goes, you know.
I'm messed up, and I goddamn well know I posted more than you.
The reputation rich get richer.
Exactly. I don't know what I'm at. I know I'm like in the 70s. I don't know where. I forgot. I'd have to look real quick.
There's only a handful of
like
people that are in the 80s.
I feel like
I
I'm like
literally,
78.
the only two I've really seen are me and Taskmaster. But the idea is that that's just a temporary thing until we get the Leo power score up there.
Bro, my hive power like has not moved in like 2 years. Yeah, Task is an 84.
Yeah, it's based, your reputation on Hive is based on how many upvotes you've received.
Bro, I'm a
basically.
78. I've been at 78. I literally feel like for like 2 years. So clearly I'm not friends with enough whales. That's the moral of this story. Too funny. Yeah, I've been stuck at 78. I just thought like it was just nearly impossible to start like moving up to that infamous 80. All right, I'm gonna have to start posting up a storm. The race is on, just like Cathie Wood and her race against BlackRock for a Bitcoin ETF. Apparently she's talking junk that she's winning the race. And you know what? I don't really give a damn who wins the race, as long as someone wins it, because that means we'll have a Bitcoin ETF, which I don't know. Like maybe long term it's not a positive, but short term it's definitely a positive. I mean, if you think about, how much Bitcoin is floating on central exchanges now, and it is, potentially available, that ETF is gonna have to buy up a lot of Bitcoin. And I don't see how that doesn't drive price up, given that pretty much just like a couple million is liquid, so to speak, in terms of like on exchange.
Yeah, I think we're talking about Bitcoin here.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the ETF.
Practice?
So I
Talking about practice? Yeah, we're talking about Bitcoin.
so when he said a couple million on exchanges, I was like, oh, maybe he's talking about Leo.
No, we're not on exchange.
Not yet. So the ARK's ETF getting approved and BlackRock's ETF proposal, and then Fidelity just came out that they're planning to launch an ETF proposal. So pretty crazy times, because we just saw the SEC crackdown, and coincidentally, or not so coincidentally, within like 2 weeks we saw these huge TradFi companies come out and talk about their ETFs. So it does very much look like a washout of the existing crypto startups in order to make room for the TradFi giants to take over. So definitely something I've been keeping a close eye on.
I agree, because you know what? At the end of the day, if you can't get rid of it, then the best thing you can do is try and control it.
Yep.
And that is
And
essentially what is happening.
Yep. And one interesting thing is with these ETFs, it depends on how the ETF is structured. They don't necessarily need to own any Bitcoin for that ETF. So
No?
it depends if they're settling in Bitcoin, in like coin.
Oh, or if they're cash settled.
Yes.
Well, if they cash
So
settled, then what's the like?
point is that they get to make money.
There's no point. It's just then
That's
it
the
just
only
becomes
point
a
they need.
proxy, and it's not a true Bitcoin ETF.
Right. Which is somewhat how GBTC works, because you see that there's like a premium or a discount at all times.
Exactly how it works. So like,
right.
If it's gonna be a cash settled ETF, then what the fuck?
Yeah. But I think these ETFs are not, from what I understand, they're not going to be cash settled. But they could be. I don't know.
Yeah, if they actually have to hold Bitcoin, that is game changer. I don't see how
It
Bitcoin
is.
doesn't moon. I mean, that's probably what's pushed the, we were testing 25, looking like we were about to potentially crack and test 20 again, maybe. And then all of a sudden we just turn around and rip to 31K. And it was right when all this news came out. That, and then the Citadel Schwab, which again, there you go, TradFi creating a centralized exchange. Yeah. I'm gonna who do you like when the dust settles? Who do you think, like, because not everyone's gonna get wiped out, but at the end of the day, I think like Coinbase and potentially Binance are gonna be like the last men standing from like the old wild west of crypto. Yep. And then they're gonna slowly become, well, Coinbase will probably become more TradFi-ish a little bit, but Binance is just, I don't know, this enigma. But if you think about it, yeah, eventually. Yeah. Or they're just going to be rinky dink, like all these other like KuCoin and
Yep.
you
Well,
know,
they offer things that are sidestepping regulation. That's their niche, right? Things like MEXC and KuCoin, and the reason why they exist and have volume is because they're offering something, to people who due to regulations or jurisdictions, they can't trade, for example, like Bitcoin futures. So they offer things like that with like 100x leverage, and that's their niche little market. And that's what they'll exist for, because Coinbase doesn't offer 100x leverage Bitcoin futures, because they're a public company and regulated. But I think the reason why you'll see like Coinbase and Binance still standing is, for example, the BlackRock ETF uses Coinbase as the Bitcoin custodian. So they're not TradFi necessarily, but they've gotten into that echelon of being big enough, probably too big to fail, to be honest with you.
they're smart. They're hybriding it. They're like TradFi / not TradFi.
Exactly, which is what you
Portions
need
of
to
the
do.
business are,
You
portions
got to be
aren't.
smart. Yep, got to be smart.
Well, I mean, yeah, because otherwise, at the end of the day, Uncle Sam's just going to take you out. Man, I gotta get back into the threadcast. I was doing a post, recap post. Lost the threadcast. So that little new, like the Leo announcer pop up. Oh, okay. You can hit read more, and I'm assuming when you hit read more, it gives you whatever update. Because I saw that pop up, and
then when there's a new post, it'll re-pop up with the newer one.
Nice. Oh, duh. I'm like, why can't I find the link? Because I'm in general. Let's get into Leo TV. Oh, there you go. Someone posted Hive Fest, September 22nd to the 26th. That is, I think that's the weekend after the Vegas crypto thing.
Oh,
I
okay.
think, if I can remember. I'm trying to remember, because, well, maybe it's not. Maybe it is the weekend that is literally like a butts. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that shakes out. I
All I
honestly have
know
not
is
looked at scheduling yet.
I know my soul said, when tequila cat? And the answer to that is never, because tequila is the one liquor I do not drink. I can sniff tequila and feel like I'm going to throw up. The cat does not do tequila. I'm down for anything else,
I'll
especially
drink some
whiskey.
tequila with you.
Yes, you guys can drink all the tequila. I will drink vodka. I will drink rum. I will drink whiskey. What? I know my soul says he's at 80 also. Are you kidding me? How do you have an 80 freaking rating on Hive? Yes, Rivals, the GIF you posted, I agree. I don't know where Rosarito, Mexico is. Is it Rosarito?
So last couple points from Eric. Is Gensler getting the boot? He's appearing in front of the U.S. House committee to talk about the crypto draft bill, and other topics might be talked about during it.
You're better than me. I kind of pick and choose in the market stuff. I was like, I covered the two I wanted to cover.
Yeah, I don't know. You never know. I think if you watched that last committee hearing, which I did, it was kind of laughable in some areas where, he was not really answering any questions. The senators who were asking him questions were, peppering him with stuff, and he would not answer or decline to answer, or most of the time, actually, he would just talk about something that was completely unrelated and try to sidestep the questions. But he's not very good at doing that. So it was clear that he was getting frustrated and, he was unprepared. And after that hearing, one of the senators famously came out with a proposal to replace Gensler and replace the whole protocol behind the SEC, which is instead of having a chairman or one chairman decide everything, you have some sort of board structure, which I think is much better. And if you take a step back to all politics without getting too political, I believe that should be in place in, almost all steps of, regulation, government, decision making, policy making. Like, I think having a board of people is much better than having one person. You can still have
Agreed.
one spokesperson, but having multiple people make the actual decisions, I think is valuable. Inflation is at its lowest in 2 years. It was 4% in May. I think that was the core inflation, right?
Did we get a new inflation number that came out?
Didn't we get
This
one
week?
for June? Yeah, I feel like we did.
I know there was a number last week. What's today? Consumer confidence, durable goods. Oh, the Case-Shiller home price index came out yesterday. Apparently, oh, look at that. Medium forecast was for negative 2.4% and actual was negative 1.7. So, and that's for April. So this real estate crash is really hitting hard. What a 1.7% drop.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
New home sales were higher than expected in May. Consumer confidence was higher than expected and was up big. Wow. That all came out today. Yeah, I think inflation was last Thursday or whatever it was with that 4%. That makes sense. Yeah, because we obviously had a call on Tuesday. Friday, we have the PCE index, core PCE. Oh, Q1 GDP revision is Thursday.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Previous is 1.3, medium forecast is 1.6. See what it ends up landing at.
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I was just scrolling through the threadcast and I don't see much that we didn't cover.
Huh, I didn't realize apparently Fed Chair Powell speaks 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. Interesting. I thought he was done speaking for the month. That always shakes markets up when he's chattering.
Sweet. Anything else you want to cover before we jump off?
No, I think we're good. I'm publishing the recap post as we speak.
Sweet.
Next Tuesday is 4th of July for us American USA folk. So there won't be a When Soon show unless Khal wants to do a 4th of July special solo. I will unfortunately be out of town.
Yeah, I probably will also take that Tuesday off. Maybe I'll throw something up, but throw a short video or something. But most likely we'll take that AMA off. And I have been doing like these daily like crypto update videos that are like 10 minutes long. So maybe I'll just do on that day instead.
There you go.
Yeah, just to have something out there. But and then the next Tuesday after that, you said you may or may not be here.
I will be traveling, actually. I will be handling some. I will be out of town doing real estate stuff.
Sweet.
I'm going to be up. I got to go
So
check on some stuff and
So a 2-week hiatus from our regularly scheduled AMAs. And
Yeah,
then
the 11th. So yeah, 4th, 11th. So yeah, on the 11th, obviously you're welcome to do a Q&A solo if you want. And then yeah, on the 18th, they'll be rocking and rolling again.
yep. And then yeah, so maybe that second week where you're gone, I may do like one of those live AMAs or something. I'll talk to Eric about it next week. For not for next week, but the following week. So I don't know what
Yes.
that date is, the 14th or whatever.
That's the 11th.
11th.
Yeah,
So
so next week, 4th of July, holiday, no show. 11th, there will be no cat. Let me drop the recap post into the Leo TV chat. Recap post is up. Yes, ad revenue, smart contract by Leo Power APY. Hold Leo. Answer to that whole equation is stake Leo. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I was reading Sunseeker's comment about being a VA for real estate agents in Miami and how 4th of July gives her PTSD because of that. And I agree with you because I used to have my real estate license and geez, I don't know what is going on. The one time I don't mute my phone is blowing up. I used to have my real estate license in Florida and I wasn't even like a regular retail agent. I just like helped out some people I knew here and there. And I still was like, oh my God, I can't do this. Leave me alone. I mainly have my license for me. But yeah, I no longer have it. I have friends down here that are real estate agents and it is not a life I'd want to live.
yep. Sounds like a lot of work.
So yes, 100% agree. But good to know that you have VA skills. I feel like I always know people here that are looking for a VA. I don't know if you're looking for VA work, but if so, I could probably send some people your direction. In fact, actually, you know, it's funny. Walter's always usually looking for a solid VA. He's got a couple now. He had a real good one, but she had moved on.
Sweet. Well, don't forget to upvote the cat. His
Yes.
link is there. I will post the link on Thread since I have a 80 rep score.
Whatever's. That's crazy. I gotta
Soon
put that
it'll
on
be
my.
Leo Power based. So if you have more than a certain amount of Leo Power, you'll be able to post links too.
Yep. Once it's Leo Power, I'll be good to go.
You will be.
Until
Sweet.
then, I have to post.
Keep
Hive.
posting. Keep posting.
I apparently have to show Hive some Hive love. All right. Well,
All right.
good
Good AMA.
updates.
We
per
will
the
see
usual.
you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it'll be a couple weeks.
Yep.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right. See you later.
Later.